Could I just ask you to take your seats? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Dave Evans. I'm the director of the Fire Academy here in Stow. And I'll be the master of ceremonies for today's graduation. On behalf of the State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski, men and women of the Department of Fire Service, welcome to the commencement exercises for Class 266, the 266 graduating class from the Massachusetts Fire Academy here in Stow. At this time, I ask you to please join me in welcoming our presiding officer for today's ceremony, State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski, accompanied by the official party. Now please join me in welcoming the chiefs of the department for today's graduating recruits, led in by our instructors. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the end of Class 266, the posting of our national and state colors. Ladies and gentlemen, Class 266 was piped in by firefighter Rich McDonough of the North Attleboro Fire Department. Please remain standing for our national anthem, which will be performed by Harrison Massey.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing for the invocation delivered by Chaplain Joe Idison of the Massachusetts Corps of Fire Chaplains.
Our eternal God, we assemble today to celebrate the efforts and achievements of these fine individuals. We offer our thanks and praise for all who have gone before us in fire service, who have shared important lessons and wisdom, and who have molded us into who we are today. Thank you for the commitment of those skilled instructors who make our graduates capable and honorable firefighters. We thank you for these graduates, for their energy, enthusiasm, and the hard work they have put into this program of training. May you continue to bless them as they go on from here to work and to serve. In your holy name we pray. Let us say, Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to take a couple of seconds to introduce the people up here on the podium, the official party. I'm going to actually skip over the first two gentlemen here. No disrespect. But the third gentleman here, sitting on the left, to my left, is the State Fire Marshal, Peter Ostrowski. To his left, you've already met Chaplain Joe Idison. To his left, Lieutenant Bill Cross from the Saugus Fire Department, our deputy chief. And from the Mass Fire Training Council and the Springfield Fire Department, Drew Piedmont. To my direct left, see this gentleman who will be speaking a little later. He has well over 40 years here. Well over 40. A little close. Jack Gelina, the assistant coordinators for the recruit program. And the coordinator for our recruit program, Mr. Dennis Ball. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a couple of seconds to thank our instructors. I am a little biased. I feel like we have the best instructors in the whole world. I have the pleasure of being here every day and working with them. And if you look, you see some of them in the white jacket, the white shirts. And I'm sure when you're walking around out there, you saw others. We still have another recruit class going. But if it wasn't for them, the recruit sitting in front of us wouldn't be here today. So please give our instructors And again, I'm also biased because we have a great crib group and facility group that has actually put this place together for us today. You know, so when they're out here, you'll see them in the red and the blues as well. So please give them a hand as well, the crib facility. And also, you passed one of the young ladies that were handing out those the packets today, the agendas and the nice little insignia on it. Christine Dancer in the back. You see her? I know, I see you. Can you wave at least once? All right. She never waves. She always hides. She's the assistant, the administrative assistant. And at this time, it's my honor to introduce the State Fire Marshal, Peter Ostrowski, to speak to you.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to be able to welcome you here on behalf of all of us at the Department of Fire Services as we celebrate this graduation of class number 266. It's a very exciting day, a great way to kick off our Labor Day weekend. I know that they're chomping at the bit to get back to work, although we know that they've worked very hard over these last 10 weeks. So on behalf of all of us here at DFS, especially the Academy staff, welcome. I want to echo Dave's comments with regard to our instructional staff, take a moment of personal privilege to just highlight the great work of all of our department, but especially today, recognize the work of our Academy staff, represented by these gentlemen here, but also, as Dave mentioned, that are working in the backyard today, that are spread out across the Commonwealth. These are true professionals, professional fire service personnel, active or retired, who want to give back to their industry, who want to continue to make sure that they can share their knowledge, their training, and their experience with us as firefighters to make us a stronger firefighting service here across the Commonwealth. They do that every day. They work their jobs back home, but then they come back here to make sure that these recruits, make sure that our fire service personnel are well prepared for what they face every day. So I think it's appropriate if we recognize them once again. Thank you. We welcome the fire service personnel. You can see many in uniform and some not uniform who are here to welcome these recruits back to the fold. We welcome the chiefs of department and the command staff personnel. We thank you for entrusting these recruits to us here at the department. We take that responsibility seriously, as you can see, and we know that these chiefs, these brother and sister firefighters are committed to safety through training, safety through strong procedures, safety through collaboration and working together to make sure that at the end of the day, we are as safe as we can be when facing the perils of fire and emergency response. So we also know that there's a support network. When we sign on as a member of the fire department, we sign on to a second family, and we have the support network that's represented here. When these recruits finished the day in the drill yard and went home, they had homework to do. They would go home for a weekend wanting to hone their skills and be prepared for the upcoming week or the upcoming challenges, and they would be able to go back home and work with their brother and sister firefighters who they'll spend so much time with going forward and depend on their support. So welcome to all of you as well. And thank you, chiefs, for your commitment and your support of the department. Welcome, family and friends. Today's a terrific day as we celebrate the accomplishments of these personnel. And I especially want to pay recognition to the members of our great General Court, Representative Steve Howard, Representative David DeCosta are here with us today. We enjoy the support of the legislature, and they're here to support these recruits just like you, family, and friends are. We recognize that as we take on that second family of the fire service, that most importantly, we have the support network of family and friends. The people that got us to where we are today, the people that got these recruits to these seats and supported them through these last 10 weeks. We recognize that you have made sacrifices along that journey thus far, and whether you're first generation or multiple generation, we welcome you to your second family, the fire service, and we greatly appreciate your support as we go forward, and we know that you will be integral in the success of these fire service personnel. And to Class 266, congratulations, you made it. Along the lines of these last 10 weeks, you've experienced quite a bit. Perfect weather conditions, easygoing instructors, great meals. It's all been good. But the fact of the matter is, we know that you've worked hard, that you entered these halls as individuals and carrying the title of recruit. Over these last 10 weeks, you've come together as teammates. You recognize that our responsibility is to work off each other to gain the success that's expected of us every day on our jobs. You know the importance of training, of education, of understanding what you're facing so that we can be as safe as we can be going forward. Take a deep breath, enjoy this day. You've earned it. It's been a long haul. As you leave here, remember too that you shed the title of recruit and you walk out of here carrying the title of firefighter. It's a noble calling. Treat that title with respect. Remember that everybody who sees you walking down the street knows who you are, whether you're in uniform or you're not. Make sure that you represent all of us well. And my final reminder to you as we go forward is to make sure that you recognize the old adage, you learn something new every day, isn't just a saying in our business, it's a responsibility. Take on that responsibility. Make sure that you take advantage of training opportunities at your home department, at the fire academy, at the National Fire Academy, through furthering your education. Every day has to be a learning experience because we face new challenges every day. And we all want to make sure that at the end of the day, we all go home safe. Congratulations, best of luck.
At this time, I'd like to call upon Lieutenant Drew Beamont, Springfield Fire Department, and the Mass Training Council to present the Richard N. Bangs Outstanding Recruit Award.
Richard N. Bangs was the chairman of the Massachusetts Fire Training Council for many years. Upon his retirement, the council voted to name the Outstanding Student Award in his honor. The recruit training curriculum is designed to train and evaluate students in the basic skills of the firefighting profession. This course is demanding both academically and physically, and completing it is an accomplishment worthy of recognition. In each class, there is one student selected who has excelled in the training program, and this student is named as the Outstanding Student of the class. This award is based upon the student's total academic score, successful achievement in both academic and practical skills, testing, and evaluations. At this time, I'd like to invite Chief Robert Cole of the Bill Ricker Fire Department to join us on stage, please. I'm pleased to present the Richard N. Bangs Award to the Outstanding Student of Recruit Class 266 to firefighter Sean O'Neill of the Bill Ricker Fire Department. Congratulations.
going to keep this pretty short. I heard the spokesman has a really good speech coming up, so I don't want to take anything away from him. I just want to say thank you to everyone here at the Fire Academy, the instructors, support staff. My wife Chrissy for giving me a reprieve on the honey-do list this summer. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll get to work tomorrow. Just thanks a lot, and Chief Cole and everyone else from Brooka, if you could keep this from the deal for my group, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask Bill Cross to come up, Lieutenant from Saugus. He is a 24-year veteran of the Saugus Fire Department. He is a 2008 recipient of the Massachusetts Firefighter of the Year Medal of Valor Award winner for rescuing a double amputee from a house fire. And just recently, he had another save where he pulled somebody else, an unconscious person, from a fire. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Cross.
Gotta get a drink first. Good morning. To the Marshal, Director, invited guests, fire chiefs, brothers and sisters in the back of the room, the families and friends. It's an honor for me to be here today to say a few words to Class 266. Congratulations. 10 short weeks ago, you guys came here as strangers, and you leave here today as a family. You forged a bond and guarantee you'll have for the rest of your life. To your families, thank you for your sacrifice. I can remember coming through here 23 years ago. I was on the job for a year when I came through. Just had bought a house. My wife was pregnant. It's an absolute grind coming out here when you got family, a young family. And without that family, you can't get through it. So, thank you very much to the families. This is going to be the last time in your careers, unless there's a secret out there, that you get 10 weeks of paid training. When you get back to your stations, you're going to be, depending on your officers, the senior guys in your job, to continue this training. Our mission here at the Fire Academy as a fire instructor is to lay the foundation, to give you the basics, so that you're certified to a national standard, but also you can go back and work. It's a great accomplishment to get through this program, and but your training has just begun. The day you stop learning on this job, the day you stop opening yourself up to learning, that's the day you should walk down to the retirement office, get your papers, pull them, and get out. Because if you don't, it's a good chance you can get yourself killed or get someone else killed. Build on what you've learned here. Become the best you can be. I can tell you that every day I come down here and teach, I'm not really a teacher. I learn every single day I'm down here. We're surrounded with some of the best guys in the business down here. And they come from departments as big as Boston, Worcester, Cambridge, Lynn, and the smallest Lakeville and Turners Falls. I'm humbled every day I come down here, and how much these guys know, and I just want to be proud of that. And if you don't know what you're doing, this job is going to humble you. Since I can remember, I always wanted to be a firefighter. I grew up in this life. My father was on the job 35 years in Chelsea during arguably some of the busiest times in the fire service with fires. But it wasn't fires that drew me to this job. It was the guys. Growing up, all I seen was a bunch of great guys that got along. They worked together. They did things together off of work, and they truly loved what they did. And I said, I forget where I heard it from. I think it might have been Blanchard. If you find a job you love to do, you never work a day in your life. And that's how I feel. I love this job. I love being a firefighter. And it becomes like your second family. Once I got hired, I realized that the job of a firefighter is the hardest job you'll ever do in your whole life.
when a firefighter goes to work, there's no harder job. You're performing under the most adverse conditions with people's lives in the balance. This brings me to the rescue I was involved in just a month ago. It came in about 11 o'clock, July 25th. It was a phone alarm. It get called in as smoke coming from the apartment, occupant trapped. My engine company's first due to this address. We got there. It's a 3-story brick building, apartment building, 12 apartments, 50 by 50. We pulled up, nothing showing. So this is nothing. This is going to be nothing when we pull up. Nothing showing. The building wasn't really evacuated. There was one guy out front jumping around. He was in the early 20s. He looked crazy. He was jumping around. So I go over to the guy and say, "What's going on?" He says, "The smoke coming over here. Come over here." So we walk over to this door, and open up that door, and it led to a hallway where the apartment was. Hallway was charged with smoke. So myself, another firefighter, I called the command. I said, "Hey, we got a smoke condition. It's going pretty good. We're going to force entry and do a quick search." I didn't feel like there was time to go back and get a hose line. I mean, the place was going pretty good. So, just like we teach you out here at the school, at the tower, at the burn building, we masked up in the hall. We're masking up in the hall. We're getting ready. The guy that was there with us, who brought us to the door, he's still in there. He's like, "Listen, you got to get out of here. It's getting bad." I remember saying this. He goes, "Good luck." I was like, "Wow, thanks." So we masked up. I ordered the firefighter to open the door. He forces the door open. When we forced the door open, we had a smoke condition, rotten smoke from the ceiling to the floor. Couldn't see a thing. I had my camera with me, a thermal imager, brand new one too, and one I use down here all the time in the burn building, whether inside safety or not, I get to use it. So I felt like when my day came with this camera, I was going to be pretty good. So I put the camera up and take a look. Can't see a thing. I think my mask is fogging. I wipe off my face piece and look again. Still can't see a thing again. It's probably about 85 degrees at this time at night. I wipe the lens and look, I still can't see anything. So camera's no good. Say to the firefighter with me, we're going to do a search. We hold our breath for a second. I hear a slight cough, as luck would have it. I left that firefighter at the door. It was over to my left. I shot down this hallway and searching around to find the guy in the kitchen, find his legs. Really can't even see him. Pull him to me at the wall, radio to command, "Hey, we got a victim." Protected his head just like we show you here. Pulled him back about 10 feet. The other firefighter came up the wall, got him by the legs. Just how we show you. Pushed him out, and we got the guy out. He had burns to his trachea, to his lungs. He just got out of the hospital, but he's still alive. So that whole process from start to finish, I thought about it afterwards. I had done that rescue training in Saugus probably 1,000 times. I had done that rescue down here teaching inside the burn building or inside the tower or the search building probably 3,000 times. I went over that rescue in my head probably 10,000 times. It was like muscle memory. It was like muscle memory, and it was all because of training. It's all because of training. So, get my notes. It's because of the office I worked for, the instructors I worked with down here, that it was all possible. It worked out. It was like second nature. That's what I want for you guys. Continue your training from here. Keep working, because you never know when your number's going to be called, and you're going to have to do this. Every instructor here wants you to do well. And when you do well, we all do well. So I got some parting advice. Again, I'm going to say it again, keep training. Work at this job. Don't get complacent. That building we went to, I'd been there 6 times in the last 5 weeks before that call. All right, the 7th time was a fire. We're here. We're learning more and more that cancer's an epidemic in this job. You've got to weigh your stuff. When you come back from a fight, make sure you wash it.
Ask questions. If you don't know the answer to something, when you go back next week and you're looking at the piece, you don't know what a tool is or what this does, ask. Okay, never stop learning. Be proud that you're a firefighter. You've been handed an awesome responsibility. The public and the people you work for, when they call you, they want you there in a moment's notice. When you get there, they want you to be professional, polite, and know what you're doing. I thank you again for having me here. It's an honor for me to speak in front of you today. God bless you, God bless your families, and above all, be safe.
Thank you. This time I'm going to call up Assistant Coordinator Jack Jelinas to call the roll for today's graduates. Family and friends, please come down here and take your photos. If it's your group, come on down. Don't worry about standing in front of us. Just come on down. Mr. Jelinas.
Before I call the roll, let's ask all the veterans in the class to please stand up and be recognized. And all the veterans in the building, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you. And from Acton, Fire Chief Robert Hart. Graduating firefighter David Gershon. Of Belmont, Fire Chief David Frizzell. And assisting in this presentation, Watertown retired auxiliary firefighter Steve Bizzo. Who was the father of graduating firefighter Thomas Bizzo. Of Bill Ricker, Fire Chief Robert Cole. Graduating firefighter Joseph Ferry. Graduating firefighter Kenneth Murnane. Graduating firefighter Sean O'Neill. Of Falmouth, Fire Chief Michael Small. Graduating firefighter Aaron Banish. Graduating firefighter Scott Payne. Graduating firefighter Eric Swatz. Of Foxborough, Fire Chief Roger Hatfield. Graduating firefighter Joseph D'Antona. Graduating firefighter Jason Galante. Graduating firefighter Joseph Robaffo. Graduating firefighter Jonathan Villa. From Gardner, Fire Captain Gregory Lagoy. And assisting in this presentation, Boston firefighter Aaron Lebrecht, who is the brother of graduating firefighter Kenneth Lebrecht. Graduating firefighter Anthony Espuria. Of Hanover, Fire Chief Jeffrey Blanchard. Graduating firefighter Joshua Morrison. Graduating firefighter Sebastian Rivas. Graduating firefighter Kyle Stetler. Of Hingham, the Fire Chief Stephen Murphy. Graduating firefighter Joseph Leach. Of Lexington, Assistant Fire Chief Chris Ford. Graduating firefighter Benjamin Bachman. Littleton Fire Chief Scott Wodzinski, and assisting in this presentation, retired Boston Fire Captain Ronald Petrucci, who is the father of graduating firefighter Ronald Petrucci. Of Lowell, Deputy Fire Chief Joseph Roth, graduating firefighter Stephen Flynn, of Milton, Fire Chief John Grant, graduating firefighter Michael Grant, father and son, congratulations. Of Plymouth, the Fire Chief Edward Bradley, graduating firefighter Richard Abbott, and assisting in the next presentation, Plymouth Fire Lieutenant Randy Kierstead, the uncle of graduating firefighter Brendan Bean. Graduating firefighter Michael Brennan. Graduating firefighter Chris Coelho. Assisting in the next presentation, Plymouth Fire Lieutenant Randy Kierstead, who is the father of graduating firefighter Nathan Kierstead. Graduating firefighter Patrick Larrabee. And assisting in the next presentation, Plymouth Fire Lieutenant Jeffrey Elward. Who is the president of graduating firefighter Richard Pimentel. Of Revere, Fire Chief Christopher Wright. Graduating firefighter Timothy Hannigan. Of Seekonk, Fire Chief Michael Healy. And assisting in this presentation, Seekonk Fire Captain Michael Burke. Graduating firefighter Michael Puhak. Of Swampscott, Fire Chief Kevin Breen. Graduating firefighter Matthew Gamali. And assisting in the next presentation, Boston firefighter Matt Lozier. He is the brother of graduating firefighter Michael Lozier. Of Tewksbury, Fire Chief Michael Hazel. Graduating firefighter Derek Tamalo. Graduating firefighter Michael Willie. Of Winchester, Fire Chief John Nash. Graduating firefighter Christopher Adams. Recruit Class 266.
steal the senior class for a couple more minutes. Welcome, everyone. I would like to first start off with a thank you to the State Fire Marshal, the Massachusetts Department of Fire Services, the Massachusetts Fire Academy, chiefs and other fire department personnel, instructors, support staff, and families. Without all of you, we wouldn't be here today. Congratulations to Class 266. We finally made it to our graduation. The challenges we faced the last 10 weeks remind me of something my high school football coach once said to us. When the football team had two-a-day practices in August, which at the time seemed excruciating, but after spending the last 10 weeks outside in 90-degree weather and turnout gear, it didn't seem that bad. But at the end of practices, the coach said something I'll never forget. He commended us on not quitting. He said, you quit one thing now, and later in life, when things get tough, you'll quit then too. And you might like to stop, quit, and shaking. The last 10 weeks challenged us both physically and mentally, but we overcame the obstacles put before us, and we never gave up. So the next time we hear the tones in the firehouse, we are faced with a challenge on a run, I am confident that we won't quit then, and will overcome any obstacle put before us. The last 10 weeks were a roller coaster of emotions for us. We had low points in our training, for instance. During a burn day and assigned to a ladder company, one of their instructors said, you are, by hands down, by far, the worst group today. That really happened. It knocked us down a little bit. Sorry. We had a few lighthearted moments too. Like during SUVA training when an instructor said, you're a handsome boy, to one of our recruits. Gave us all a laugh. But more important, there were a lot of high moments for us, like when we got to spend 2 days doing grit training, learning how to save a fellow firefighter in a time of need. All in all, it was an experience I'm sure none of us will soon forget. However, this is not the end of our training, but just the beginning. The Massachusetts Fire Academy gave us a foundation to do this job, but we must continue to learn and train when we get back to our stations, because there's still more we can do to make us better firefighters. Our communities have invested in us, and we must show them that that investment was worth it. One of my duties as class spokesman was at the end of the day to let the instructors know that we were ready for dismissal. One recruit in particular always reminded me of this aspect of my job. I'm not going to say his name, but he's from a community with a pretty famous rock located in it. But that's neither here nor there. So it is with great pride and pleasure to do this one final time. To the instructors, class 266 is present and accounted for. We're ready to go home. Firefighters Tamalo and Willie from the Tewksbury Fire Department to join me up here. We'd like to present our plaque to the Massachusetts Fire Academy.
This time, please stand for the benediction.
Our eternal God, we conclude today's ceremony. We put the bow around the months of preparation and years of dreams. We humbly ask you to protect those you have called into the fire service. Shower each one with amazing courage and infinite wisdom. In their new assignment, let each become a great neighbor behind the big garage doors, who serves the community with intelligence and imagination. Surround them with supportive loved ones, capable leaders, dependable and good-natured colleagues. Help their loved ones to embrace the firefighter's schedule and acknowledge their passion and fascination for life at the station. Send them a chaplain who will serve them well. Thank you, God, for hearing us, and we pray with confidence, knowing you have a plan for our lives marked by the signature day. We pray all of this in your strong and ever-present name, and we say, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski and the men and women of the Department of Fire Service, I would like to thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. We wish each member of Class 266 only the best in their careers. I ask that you please remain standing for the departure of the official party, followed by the chiefs of the department, and then bagpiper Rich McDonough will lead Class 266 out.